And welcome to Light Years, the Pacific Catch post-game show, the morning after. Andy Lou, we're recording this 10 a.m. New Year's Eve. How you feeling?
Oh, I feel great. Best stretch of basketball the Warriors are ever going to play. It's New Year's Eve, end of the year. That is a perfect way to end it. It's pouring rain outside. I'm literally looking out the window. It's absurd. We got great college football games today. Pacific Catch. What do you got?
I made the mistake of going out to get a coffee, and then the rain just came down on me. But you know what? It's worth it. It's worth it. This is the best stretch of basketball the Warriors played. 4 in a row without Steph is just absurd. But I feel like we talked about this when Steph got hurt. This homestand will tell us if they're serious or if it's going to be a tank year. You know what I mean? And so far, through 4 games, they look very serious to me. They look primed to make a very big run when they get Steph back. And I think the Portland game last night was easily the most impressive. Well, Christmas is pretty impressive too. I tell you that. But the fourth quarter specifically, Draymond,
wow,
Kuminga, Dante. Didn't that feel like Warriors basketball at the defense?
That was peak Warriors basketball. It was shades of Andre Iguodala. And, you know, the interesting stuff is that it happened against Portland, who we've seen this happen to a million times. How many times have the Warriors done this to Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum and Mo Harkless and Yusuf Nurkic, who didn't play last night? But, like, how many times have we seen the Warriors do this to them? And it was the exact same formula last night. It was Portland getting buckets. I mean, they got buckets for 3.5 quarters. Like, it's what they do, right? But when it came down to it, it was the Warriors taking away Dame, taking away Anthony Simons, taking away Jeremy Grant, who, that's a pretty good scoring trio, but that's what the Warriors do to him. They've done it for almost 7 years now, right? So that was peak Warriors basketball. That was incredible. I thought they'd lose shorthanded, 4 games in 6 nights. Portland with like 3 nights off since their last game. So I thought they'd lose that game, Sam. You could look at the box score here at Portland. They played their main guys 40-plus minutes. So it was an effort that I think, it's a season-changing, it's a statement, right? This homestand so far, it's a statement.
16 points allowed in the fourth quarter. Yeah, I just keep walking away from it like it feels like how the Warriors felt at the beginning of 2021-22, where Draymond was so locked in defensively, and they had all those home games off the start, and they went on that 18-2 run. And, you know, when we were watching it in the beginning of 2021, 2022, we were saying how it felt like 2015 again, right? Yep. And all this is just kind of alluding to, it just feels like Warriors basketball where they're aggressive defensively, they move the ball offensively, and they win. They make winning plays on both ends of the ball. And I think not enough can be said about how impressive it is to do it, not just without Steph, but without Wiggins as well. JaMychal and Wiseman didn't play. Say what you want about them, but like literally they had 2 centers, Looney and Draymond. They had no backup. So it's like short-handed all the way through, and it doesn't matter. And it's like, can we just talk Draymond real quick? Because you know how it is with him. The stats will never do the story. I mean, he had 10, 11, and 4, which is a good Draymond game, but it's just when he takes it to that other level, defensively, again, the team out in transition, I don't know. I still think he's underrated as a player because he's not a scorer.
He is, and maybe he's even underrated to the Warriors fan base sometimes. I mean, as we saw in the beginning of the season, he's obviously playing through an injury, which you can't tell. The only reason why we know he's playing through an injury is because DiVincenzo brought it up at the end of last game. So I had no idea. I mean, I guess they said he's questionable with a foot or something. Like he's not talking about it. It's not great when Draymond has a back injury because he was out for however long he was last season.
2+ months. Yeah.
2+ months with a back.
And he was limited when he came. Like, I think we can all publicly admit he was probably 75% in that playoff run. Like you can tell the physical difference with what we saw then versus, now or pre-back.
He had to like reach deep into his soul to put some of his performances out there, especially games 5 and 6 against Boston. But so that's a little scary, but he looks incredible. I wasn't here, I wasn't here this week, so I wasn't able to do the shows against Charlotte. But what he did, Charlotte and what was the last game, Sam? It's the performance that he did in the fourth quarter of the last game was something special, though. It was on a back-to-back with Draymond pretty much the only guy
Jazz.
to the Jazz game.
It took me a second to remember.
Like I forget that.
Anyway.
It's been a long, good week for the Warriors. And then tonight, and like I said, he's been doing this forever against Portland, but you said no Wiggins. Just a lot of IQ that's missing. Even though Kuminga's awesome defensively right now, or trending that way, there's still a lot to be desired there. Jordan Poole defensively is missing a lot. Klay Thompson is. It feels like it's just him out there sometimes, especially as the big man. He's blocking shots, he's grabbing rebounds, and he's help side. So and you look at it, and he's doing this all injured, and it's I don't know. He's not going to win Defensive Player of the Year. He's not even talked about as Defensive Player of the Year. But there is not one player out there that you would rather have in a playoff scenario more than Draymond. Like, there's not a single player that I'd rather have more than Draymond Green in a playoff scenario on defense. Not a single player. Not close.
It's so funny. He's going to retire with one DPOY, and it's just like, people already do it now. You want to know how obnoxious it's going to be in a decade when people are like, he wasn't that good, like looking at Basketball Reference. You think I'm a salty old man now. You don't want to see me. You don't want to see me when some like 21-year-old comes in my mentions and tells me like Draymond wasn't that good in a decade.
Who's the Defensive Player of the Year right now? Like Brook Lopez? Is that like the top deep? Draymond's so much better. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like it would be. I mean, if you're going to give it to a buck, give it to Giannis. but yeah. I don't know. I haven't no one's really stood out in the way that DPOYs do. Maybe Bam. Maybe Bam's got a shot. I don't know. It's everyone's
like
just
a poor man's version of Draymond. At best,
sure,
right? Bam.
I mean, it does kind of speak to what matters in terms of skill set. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's like the protege and the teacher. Like Bam's like a little Draymond.
Even though he's bigger. But he is a little Draymond. He is.
The one player we haven't talked much about is this week's Chase Cashback Player of the Week, Dante DiVincenzo. Last week was Draymond. Couldn't give it to him again. Have to go with Dante. Dante I thought he was going to be a good fit for the Warriors, and that bet just times it by 1,000 because he is exactly the type of player that thrives with the Warriors. A little bit of inconsistent shooting this week, but averaging 8 rebounds, 4 to 5 assists, 3 steals. And honestly, like he's playing like Marcus Smart or Alex Caruso, who, in my opinion, have always been like the standard bearer for like the guard version of Iguodala and kind of that versatile, high IQ defensive player who can also function in a motion offense that the Warriors have always wanted. They're getting that from Dante, and sky's the limit with him. So he's my Chase Cashback Player of the Week.
Also, huge cojones this stretch. He's going to make himself a lot of money. Somebody texted me last night. I was like, he's gonna make 15 million plus after the season. He's not gonna be a Warrior. That's for damn sure. He's gonna be a Warrior next season.
I'm gonna hold out some hope there, but
stop it. But just a lot of money, huge stones. I don't know how you take him out of the maybe even the closing lineup for your Warrior if you're Steve Kerr, but just a massive stretch here from Dante.
Awesome basketball, just a winning player. You knew Steve Kerr was going to like him when they signed him, and I think it's been an A++. Yep. Dante DiVincenzo, your Chase Cashback Player of the Week. So we got a tweet from Will Harris, which I'm going to put up here because it'll kind of the other things we haven't talked about regarding the Blazers game last night. I think he brings up a good point here. Poole he goes, main takeaways. Poole thrives as the engine of the offense. Klay rises to big moments, but is still the worst at clock management. And Kuminga is already a good defender. Can he be great? Is there any way Dante DiVincenzo, long-term Warrior? Only 25, and then Draymond shut the water off. So we talked about Draymond and Dante. Let's talk about Poole here. 41? Whew. Whenever Poole goes off like this, I'm kind of reminded of something you said on the preseason pod, which was Poole's path to stardom is not getting better defensively. It's like becoming that like Donovan Mitchell, Damian Lillard type of offensive force. Like there's no world in which he's going to turn into Drew Holiday on defense. What matters is he goes from being kind of inconsistent on offense, which he was to start the year, and turns into, kind of a machine the way like Donovan Mitchell's been in Cleveland, for example. I'm not going to compare him to Steph because that's unfair.
Yeah. I'm going to throw it back at you because you brought up something I said in the preseason. You brought up something about Jordan Poole with Steph where it's just going to be hard to watch the guy after Steph Curry. And I find myself doing that with Jordan Poole. He had 7 turnovers last night. Some of the decisions that he makes are just confounding. I'm so confused watching him play basketball. And you know that's the stuff I hate. It's just the crazy shots, the just the dribbling for no reason. But at the end of the day, he hits the massive 3 that pulls him within 1 point. He has 41 against a team, Portland, that frankly they should have lost that game, but it allows the Warriors to go shot for shot with that team because Portland has a ton of offense. And without Jordan Poole, even if his plus minus isn't great, even if the efficiency isn't great, without the shots that he creates, without the offense that he creates, they're not even close to 4-0 in the stretch, right? And you can say the same for a lot of these guys, but there's not many players in the NBA, especially on the Warriors, that can duplicate his skill set. It's Steph and it's Jordan Poole. That's it. So the value that he has, I think, to this team is so immense because as much as Clay can make shots, he can't dribble the way that he does and just can't create the way that he does. And Jordan Poole's gotten so much better at passing the ball too. When he doesn't have a good shot.
Will Harris's Clay comment about still the worst with clock management reminds me of you remember when Andre Iguodala told the story last year? He said when we're trying to close out a game, we would purposely not pass it to Clay because we know he'd shoot it. Like when they're trying to run out the clock, they just pass it in 4 quarters around.
Did
Clay.
it last night, yeah. Did it last night.
I don't know. That always makes me laugh. Clay is who he is. You can't love the guy who has like the biggest stones in an elimination game 6 and then hate this guy who, maybe shoots a little bit. It just is what it is with him.
I think Poole's getting there too, right?
Yeah.
I think Poole's to that, not getting there. He's not there, but there's a lot of playoff moments to go. But isn't he that type of player? He's that type of player where if you love the stuff that he does that makes him successful, you can't hate when he makes, like, he just dribbles out of bounds.
Right.
He tried to make that same play he did against Plumlee between the legs, fake one-way goal. And it's just he dribbles out of bounds. And you're just like, he's got the stones to make that 3 and to make that clinching layup that he did against Utah. And you just kind of have to live with that stuff. Not everyone's going to be Steph. Not and even Steph makes mistakes. And so I think I'm learning.
We just don't publicly acknowledge them.
Steph has never made a mistake on according to the Light Years pod. My New Year's resolution, we'll get to this, is that I need to stop being so hard watching the games. I'm just get so mad when Jordan Poole makes it. Yeah.
Well, wait. Should we get into that? Because I do feel like you compare everything to 73-9, which is just unfair, because that was perfection.
It's hard. It gets tough, and then you get all the way to the end of the game, and the Warriors win the game. And it's a lot of what Jordan Poole did well, and a lot of Klay Thompson. The thing about Klay and Draymond, and why I never publicly ever get mad at Klay, is because he's done so much. They've won championships, right? And so I think maybe that's the same thing with Jordan Poole. Is you just got to see him do a lot of this in the playoffs, and then you just kind of. I mean, it's obvious with Steve Kerr. I mean, Steve hates it too. But I think he's gotten used to it now. And I think he also has no choice but to play Jordan Poole now. But he's gotten used to it. You don't see him losing his mind as much with some of Poole's decisions. So
I think you also, to tie into the Poole thing, even when they had KD, they struggled whenever Steph didn't play. And it's not like they're not in the big picture struggling without Steph, because Steph's one of the 5 best of all time. You can't just replicate that. But the fact that Poole plays the same position as him, and you can kind of run the same offense, and maybe you're getting 85% of Steph, it does make it a little easier for them to get away, just to tread water, or in this case, make a run without Steph. And that's not something they've been able to do in previous years. So that's kind of that's also a positive quality about Poole. I know they 41. He's averaging 29 points per game since Steph went down. I don't know what else you can ask for.
Wow.
You know what? It feels like this period's been good for Clay. It's definitely brought the best of Draymond out. It's also been good for Poole. Maybe they needed Steph to step away so that they would just kind of be like, all right, we're no longer being carried by number 30. I got to kind of get myself into it. So it's like one of those things where when when you pull off the training wheels, you either figure out how to ride the bike or you fall. And that's kind of how it feels for these guys. They might go 8-0 on this homestand.
Jesus. It's a soft schedule coming up too. Teams Suns without Booker, and they've got some East bad teams, and the Hawks are falling apart. And just you could go 8, and Wiggins is back on Monday, right? So it could be a really, it's already a season turning stretch here, 4-0 to start the homestand. But when they're 2 games back, Sam. They're 2 games back from the 4 seed. 2 games.
They might be the 4 seed when they go on the road. I was hoping for 5-3 without anytime you have a winning record without Steph. I think it's a win. At this point, I'll be disappointed if it's not at least 7. If they don't win 3 out of the next 4, I'll be disappointed. That's where I'm at with this. And honestly, they should win all 4. Kind of expecting there to be that one game where things just go awry, but still, anyway you slice it, they're probably gonna end this homestand above 500. Thank goodness. And good way to rough first couple months of the season, but what a way to kind of bring it into 2023, get back to Warriors basketball.
Yep.
All right. New segment, guys. Well, not even a new segment. It's New Year's Eve. So we're going to give our New Year's resolution for the Warriors. Andy, you want to go first with your resolutions, and then I'll give mine afterwards?
Yep. Mine are, and I kind of thought about trades and this and that, but no, it's going to come down to internal young player development, and specifically 2 guys. 2 guys. One is going to be Jordan Poole. We just talked about him. It's going to be, can you maintain your aggressiveness? Can you maintain what's making you great right now, averaging 29 points without Steph in the lineup? Can you maintain that when Steph comes back? Because he's going to be coming off the bench. He's not starting. Let's put that to rest. He's not starting when Steph comes back. So can you stay this guy, sustain this performance when Steph is back? That's number 1. Number 2, and the only other young guy that I think matters the rest of this season, Jonathan Kuminga, right? Can you become Gary Payton too, which is what they want him to be? I think he can do more. I think he can finish better in that kind of 5-foot range around the basket. He can be a better scorer there. He can hit a 3, kind of like GP2. But defensively, can you become as good as GP2 or close to? And that means guarding Damian Lillard like he did last night, guarding Jordan Clarkson, guarding LaMelo Ball, just hounding guys up and down. He's actually even more athletic than GP2. It might not be as quick off his feet, but I think development-wise, can he become that guy? Because if they can get him to be that guy and then develop the rest of his game, his handle, blah, 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 whatever, that's another elite 2-way wing that they can get to put next to, Wiggins, Dante, etc. So those are the New Year's resolutions. And because if those 2 guys can get better and maintain their play, this is a championship team again, come June.
Nice. I like it. I have 3. Sorry, have to go extra long. But my 3 Warriors New Year's resolutions are: 1, Jonathan Kuminga.
Yeah.
Find a jump shot. I don't even mean that facetiously. Right now, Kuminga is good enough to defend in high leverage situations. What we know will happen in the playoffs is teams are going to have the scouting report on him, and they're going to leave him open in the corner and not guard him and kind of make him prove it in a way that's going to force Steve to either pull him off the court or kill their offense. It's the type of thing they've done for years to Andre Iguodala. Andre was always able to hit the shots when they mattered to keep defenses honest. Honestly, if Kuminga develops a jump shot, he's a star, because that's the only thing holding him back from stardom at this point. He's got the athleticism. He finishes inside way too easy. He might be all NBA defensive caliber wing in a couple of years. He's trending that way. He's already very good. It's only a matter of time before he's probably as good as the Wiggins of the world and those type of guys. The big thing right now is you don't have to guard him at the 3-point line, and maybe Portland can't exploit that, but the good teams can. The serious teams that you play in May and June will. So my first New Year's resolution is Jonathan Kuminga. Let's figure out that 3-point shot. I don't think it's broken. He's had periods where it's gone in. It's just inconsistent now. So that's 1. Number 2, my second Warriors New Year's resolution is find One player to fix your front court depth. To date, JaMychal Green has not worked out. He was signed to replace Otto Porter. Just hasn't worked out, right? Wiseman, while he's given them some good stretches this last couple weeks, and he definitely looks like he's improving, Steve's still only playing him 8 minutes a game in small spurts. So he's not the answer either. Either one of those guys needs to really step up, or they need to find someone, whether it's in the, via a trade or a buyout, because right now they're playing Anthony Lamb 20 minutes per game, and he's doing a really good job, all things considered, for a two-way guy. But I'm not sure you want to convert him and use him in that 20-minute per game role when you get to the playoffs. And their only other option is play Draymond and Looney 40-plus minutes a game. And, that's what leads to Draymond's back hurting. That's what Looney's Iron Man, apparently. Like, I don't think he gets hurt anymore. But, they just need one front court player to solidify the rotation, because everything else on this roster is just about being healthy. I feel like they're coming into gear and they can match up with anyone. But they are thin in the front court right now. So figure that out. Whether it's James Wiseman miraculously developing over the course of a couple months, JaMychal Green figuring it out. Yeah. I mean, or, maybe a Jay Crowder gets bought out. Maybe you make a trade for a PJ Washington. I don't know. The point of the matter is that's the only hole in the rotation I see right now. Dante has been a stud. Kuminga's found his place. Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Poole, those guys are all known quantities. Everything is solved except for that one backup front court player.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, like Steph, we were talking about, or I always said, the reason they won that championship last season, Steph took a month off because of injury. It was required. Draymond's going to take a month off at some point. He is.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to weather that stretch like they are now with Steph out.
Maybe they'll be able to just kind of piecemeal week off here, a couple games off there. But, yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear Draymond's not going to play the remaining 44 games. He's going to need he may play 30 of those 45 remaining games. That would be probably good,
I hope so. Yeah. I mean, if he plays the remaining games, he either got a new body where it's just like, I don't know, I don't think 2022 or 2023 were there yet technologically from a technology perspective, but he's got to rest. It's what happens when you're 30 plus. I mean, Anthony Davis is falling apart again.
And you play that physical. Like he is a 6'6" big man. He's played 33 games this season. 30 out of the remaining 45 would put him at 63. That's a very good number for Draymond. Yeah. I would like him to be at about that 60 to 65 games on the season mark. That's probably what he needs to be healthy going into the playoffs. Yeah. My last resolution is the most important resolution for all Warriors fans. Eat more Pacific Catch. The Warriors are undefeated when I get some ramen noodles. I don't think it's a stretch to say the season turned when Pacific Catch decided to join forces with Light Years and create the Noodle Time menu that has clearly led to this winning homestand. So if you guys want to see the Warriors continue winning, there's really only one way to do it, and that's to get some Pacific Catch.
Wow, well done. Well done. The tweets are amazing too, by the way. People are just sending us photos of them.
Yes, please continue to do that. Please, anytime you go to Pacific Catch or something, send us a tweet. Well, we always retweet it. We'll forward it on. It's good. Local business. We like to support local. You and I are born and raised in the Bay Area. It's important to us. We want to continue supporting local businesses. So yeah, appreciate you guys. Live show at Pacific Catch. Tim's asking. That is in the works. I can't speak to the details, but maybe sometime mid-season. Shit, we're in mid-season. We may have something coming up.
It is in the works. It's been a while since our last. It's been a while since our last live show. Our last live show, the Warriors drafted Jonathan Kuminga. Now we're watching Jonathan Kuminga grow up as a Warrior. Incredible.
Last live show, I was childless. Now I have a 1-year-old, and half my beard's turned gray.
It is.
These are
true.
These are the things that have happened. One quick call out before we get to the voicemails. Light Years will also be hosting every Warriors game the remainder of the season on playback. We're trying something new. It's not always going to be Andy and me hosting. We'll host like a couple times a month for sure. But we're rotating in the loyal goons as lead hosts to make sure someone is always hosting for the remainder of the season. It's a lot of fun. I'll probably be in there for most every game for at least certain stretches, but I want to give you guys a home base to go hang out and watch games together and do it there. Lastly, if you want to host, message me or the Light Years account. Let me know you're interested and we can get you on the schedule. We're still looking for people. We've filled maybe a third of the games, but there's spaces available if you ever want to host or be a mod for a specific game.
Every single game. That's amazing. It's amazing. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's get to the goons.
Hey, what's up, guys? Long-time listener, first-time caller. I just wanted to say, are you guys ready to say that we're back into playoff contention now? And one last thing I wanted to say, Dante, can you guys tell me, in the fourth quarter, did he not display a little bit of GP2? Just the way he got that steal from Dame and just the way he started running up the court. And then after he just shoots a three, I don't know, at least to me, it just reminded me of some GP2. He's filling in that role in a better way, honestly, in my opinion, and I just can't wait to see it. Dubs in 4, baby. Let's go. Back-to-back champions.
The Dante and GP2 comparisons are always, they're great. Different players. I think Kuminga's maybe a better comparison, but it's different body. I mean, same body type, so it's always going to be Dante and GP2. Dante's a better ball handler, right? I think he just has more. He's going to make more money because he can shoot better and he can handle the ball and he can be a little bit more of a playmaker. Mm-hmm. I didn't think he was going to be this good defensively. I mean, the steal that he on Damian Lillard was peak GP2. Just give me the fucking rock. I didn't know he was that good. I had no idea. Looks like he is. Look, is he going to get $20 million? I just can't stop thinking about it. I just can't stop thinking about it. Good for him. Good for him.
We'll see. I'm going to see what kind of cap loophole I can find to potentially bring him back to Warriors. But yeah, I don't know. He's just definition of a winning player.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, he is.
All right, so I got to give some love to Kalina and Fitz. Can't believe I'm saying it. First time caller, by the way. Wow. Name's Daniel. That last run that the Warriors went on, Kalina had me believing in the chops of this team for the first time, talking about their mental toughness, their resilience. Man, I know this has been home cooking, but it's great in 2022 like this. And then you look at the start of 2023, Atlanta, Detroit, Orlando, Phoenix without Booker, all at home, no back-to-backs, and then a road trip with the first 3 games being against San Antonio, Chicago, and Washington. Are we looking at like a 5-2 or 6-1 start to 2023? I got to know what you guys think. And maybe just getting out of the funk with the road woes with San Antonio, Chicago, and Washington. Oh, let's go.
With the deep fake, I thought he was done. Yeah, man. I think we've spent so much time focusing on the home stretch of it that this road trip is not particularly tough. I know they've been terrible on the road. I'm pulling it up here right now, but it's like, all right, after the homestand, it's San Antonio, tanking. Chicago, tanking whether they like it or not. Washington, they should tank. Okay, Boston's tough. Cleveland's tough.
Cleveland, Brooklyn's tough. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but even Brooklyn's back at home.
That's right.
They come back home. Then they go to OKC. Let's just talk that 5-game road trip there. If they can take this positive energy into the road trip, which so far they have not on the season at all. 3-2 is absolutely possible on this road trip. Like they're better than 3 of those teams for sure. The other 2, it's just tough to win in Boston and Cleveland.
It's a back-to-back too. That's a loss. That's just,
one of those will be a big rest loss. That's for sure.
Yeah. No, it's if they can win 3 of the next 4 games. Now you're talking about a 7-1 stretch at home, and then you win 3 of those on the road. And like you said, they should win those 3 on the road. They haven't done it yet, but we're assuming. We're hoping, we're praying that they've turned the corner here. So they should be beating the Washington Wizards on the road. Like that's a San Antonio Spurs on the road. Come on, let's be serious.
And it does sound like Steph will be back there. Now, it does seem like
Sam sources.
Everyone seems to be taking a couple extra games longer than we expect. So who knows? But like, should get Steph back at some point around then. So we'll see. I mean,
I bet you what happens is he's ready to come back at the end of that homestand, and he comes back the second game of the road trip. Like, it feels like they're going to go on the road, and they're going to go. And Steve and Rick Celebrini is going to say, you know what? Can we steal one on the road? Can we win one without Steph? And then maybe they'll lose it, and then okay, all right, let's get Steph back here. I feels like that's what's going to happen. Peak Warriors behavior is what that is.
Yeah. Now that I'm looking at it, yeah, it's definitely going to be the 16th versus the Wizards in DC.
Why is that?
He's not okay. So they're going to try to steal the Spurs game without Steph, like you said, and then they're going to see a back-to-back. They're like, well, do we really want to play back-to-back? Let's just have him play the second one. It's his first game back. But who knows? He is doing on-court work. Steve Kerr said that, so it's getting there. Let's get to the next one
now. Makes sense. Yeah, let's keep rolling.
Hey, what's up, my boys, my players? This is Yonky here. I'm a longtime listener. This Stephen Wiggins stint with them being out is going to be low-key real good for the boys. You know, the boys, because the young guys are learning how to play. And come playoff time, they're going to be ready for the challenge. My boy Dante DiVincenzo, he's out here doing the Lord's work. He stripped the ball out of Mr. Oakland, Dame Lillard. You guys heard when Fitzgerald said Dame wears 0 for Oakland. Talk about some horse shit right there. Anyway, boys, I appreciate your work. And as always, fuck Dylan Brooks. He looks like he just crawled out of a dumpster with a bad hair day. Appreciate you guys. And, looking forward to hearing Yonky.
Wow. Well done.
Well done. We need more energy like that. More energy like that. Yeah. Dante's steal of Dame is one of the better highlights of the season so far.
Yes.
Hi there, guys. Amazing win. I got one thing, though. Just one thing. My hottest take. When Draymond Green punched Jordan Poole around that time, Damian Lillard was asked about it, and Damian Lillard made some kind of weird comment like Jordan Poole, basically he put his hands on Draymond Green first. So, kind of pushed him. And he was implying on that, and he said, if you push somebody, then you better be ready to take a punch or something along those lines. And at the time, I thought, well, Jordan Poole's not gonna he's gonna be like, what the fuck? What was that about? So I thought he was gonna remember it. I thought he did. He wanted to show off that, hey, I'm here now, So I'm really happy. Although he does make some stupid fucking errors all the time, but the upside is huge, and I think if the Warriors are not saying anything, so who am I to complain? So I'm happy with the win. Thank you for taking my call.
Appreciate it, my man. By the way, Dame 100% said that because he's been recruiting Draymond for a decade. Yeah, you defend any action Draymond makes just to see if it gives him a 1% chance at stealing him to his team.
That is the least secret. I knew what I'm trying to say. My brain's mush. But that is Portland loves him. Dane loves him, and I think CJ they tried, but which is why I think anytime people are like, they always have something to say about Steph and Draymond, where it's we could do this if Steph has Draymond. He's the heartbeat of the team. It's always, I think as a Warriors fan, you're always like, well, Steph is this great, but I think people know how great Draymond is on the court. People know how great he is, and Steph knows how great he is, which is why, as I always say, Draymond's not going anywhere as long as Steph is on the team. As long as he's on the team, Steph knows the value of Draymond Green, and those guys are going to retire here together. Hopefully Clay with as well, but those three guys are going to be here for a very long time.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I think we all know what the biggest takeaway from this 4-game winning streak is. JaMychal Green is a scrub, and he's out of the rotation when he comes back. No need for him. He was the real Wiseman after all.
They need better production from that position. There's no way around that.
So if he gets healthy, it looked like he had a lower leg infection. It's weird. It's odd.
Yeah. That doesn't sound great. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, at all. So hopefully he was playing better before he got sick. So same with Wiseman. He's back and he's playing better. It's just It's just, can they afford to wait for those to wait to find out if they can get even better than that? I mean, maybe not, right? To your point, maybe not.
Yeah, my perspective is they're probably not going to make a trade because I just bet against it. But if they were, it's not happening until February anyway. So if what they need is those two players to play better to open up options, then we can see what's up. So
it feels like a buyout is going to happen. It doesn't feel like
and like
trade, right?
I threw this on Twitter, and I do feel this way. While I'm not opposed to making a trade, it does feel like currently everyone is just trying to rip off contending teams in trades. Like, dude, who's traded 5 picks for Gobert? Like, what are we doing here? You know, like that sort of stuff. And it's just like you get the feeling like if the Warriors tried to trade Wiseman, a team's probably asking for the 2028 pick, you know, stuff like that in addition to him. And it's like, you really going to do that? No, you might as well wait till February to see what everyone's best and final is, right?
Yeah. I mean,
you work sales. You know how it goes. You got to wait for that best and final.
Yeah. Unfortunately. The Warriors gave up a pick far away to get rid of the Andre contract. And it's not going to come back to bite them, I don't think, because they are going to win enough games. But I mean, it's next year's first, right? Like, what happens if they do tank next year? So I think like that's what Memphis was thinking. They were like, well, this can't last forever. Like we're going to go and get
Steph's going to be 36 then. Yeah, you know, it's stuff like that. Yeah.
Ironically,
I mean, that's what the Pelicans did with AD.
Yeah,
they're like, we don't want your pick right now. We want your pick in 4 years. And they're gonna get Wembanyama. Like, probably not, but like, they are gonna get a top 10 pick. So, not that like all that's to say, like, we're not really gonna know how likely any of those moves are until we get closer to the deadline. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it is actually 2023 here, and we are Warriors fans, and I figured it out, and hell fucking yeah, we smashed the fucking Blazers, and
that's it.
Was that Nick Adams?
He's blacked out. Wow.
I love the international callers, by the way. You guys can call into the voicemail line. It is just a Google voice line, so you just got to call it like you're calling any other number, press the international code, and you're good to go.
This is Blake from the 408, and I guarantee that mops will return to the sidelines at Chase when players fall. They're now using towels. I don't get it, with their hands. So my hot take is that the mop will return.
I have no comment.
That's yours. That's all you, man.
Let's Tim next. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah, JP might be like the dumbest like player I've ever seen play. Like it's like Kelly Oubre. Except he's more talented than Kelly Oubre. But he might actually be like a complete idiot. This was an annoying game to watch. Like this team is really young and dumb. Like they make great plays. Then awful plays the next possession. It's like ridiculous. That's what I think.
He must have called mid-game because that's how it must have been me too. It must have been me calling. That must have been my burner calling in Sam. But you know, the more I think about it, the more it's like this type of team. I mean, if Draymond wasn't, it's just like a 30 plus 32 win team that you're watching grow up. Like that's what watching Jonathan Kuminga and Jordan Poole is like, right? It's like you're just watching them get better. And I think as Warriors fans, it's just hard because for us, it's just trying to watch them win a championship, and growing pains are the least you want to watch, especially as young players. You don't want to watch growing pains. It's different, but it's kind of cool. I think when you watch them figure it out in real time, which is why I tweeted about Kuminga growing up in real time. It's awesome to see Kuminga just figure shit out at age 21 as he just slowly gets better. I mean, pretty sweet. You don't often get to see that on a contending team. So I don't know. Maybe Lakeup's right. Maybe he's right.
Yeah.
I take that back. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving.
Yeah, you're already in party mood, in a good mood, thinking it's New Year's Eve.
Yeah, nah.
Anyway, let's keep going.
Good morning, light years, and Happy New Year, Sam and Andy. This is Alex calling from a very soggy Bayview. Just wanted to say, exciting game. Obviously, Poole and Clay were amazing. Dante is looking great. But I'm just also really excited about the way they finished that one and the way they've been finishing games lately. Because I think, you look at that awful start and the finishing is what really stands out, even with Stephen Wiggins healthy. So I was wondering if you think it might be something that Kerr was touching on in the postgame, which is that the roles for guys are just getting more defined. Like people know what they're supposed to be doing, the minutes they're going to be playing. And I wonder if that's enough to have stabilized the team that you think, maybe we don't need a big trade. Maybe it's just a buyout guy, something like that. Anyway, great win. Let's keep it rolling. Happy New Year.
Yeah. I mean, I do think part of it is roles coming in a little better. So like Dante's been a major stabilizing force. He's not Iguodala, but in some ways he plays the role of being like the adult with the bench guys pretty well for the Warriors, even though he's starting now on the regular. And yeah, not much else to add.
Say what you want about Curry. Say what you want about LeBron. No one in the league is dominating more than Fred Lillard. Okay? Got shooting it from Monterey Bay Aquarium. He's lights out. Fred Lillard for mayor.
Mid-broadcast, Kalena called it Fred Lillard, and I just like...
I missed that.
Yeah, it was a Pete Kalena Fitz, like, cringy, but also kind of hilarious moment.
Somebody brought in I forgot to respond to it, but somebody shouted out Fitz and Kalena. I'll say this, dude. Like, when the Warriors have those great moments last night, like when Clay hit that three, God, is Fitz good. God, is he good. Like, he does know how to rise up to the moment, rise up to the occasion in those things. I mean, just the rest of the game is rough, with Fitz, as we all know. But, dude, he is good when the game gets great. Like, he is one of the best. I'm sad I missed that. That is Pete Kalena, though. It is
Pete Kalena. Let's get to the next one.
Hi, guys. Just wanted to call in and, note the sad state of affairs for Oakland's own Damian Lillard, in that he is now even worse than Kirkland brand Curry substitute Jordan Poole, which, really weighs heavy on my heart for the poor guy that he still can't even beat us on our worst day with our B team. And just so bad for him. Hope that loyalty keeps him warm at night.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Well, I do feel for Dame. He just tends to always lose to the Warriors. I gotta look up his overall. I gotta look up his overall record. It's
the same way each time, right? Like, wasn't this just the exact same way that they lost in 2019 in the Western Conference Finals? It's just every game was Portland just looking great for 2 quarters and then slowly getting choked out by the Warriors. Just every single game was the same. Andre swipes him. Dante swipes. Dame's a very good place. Might even be a Hall of Famer one day.
He's a Hall of Famer.
He is a Hall of Famer. Well, there you go. But man, every time, as Warriors fans, every time you watch Dame, are you ever scared of him? Are you ever rattled by Damian Lillard? Are you ever worried going up against a team led by Damian Lillard? It just, as great as he is, that's never been the case as a Warriors fan. So it's kind of tough. I mean, like Fitz was saying, he's from Oakland and all that, right? So
Damian Lillard has an 11-21 record against the Warriors in his career, and he's 1-12 in the playoffs. That one win came a game Steph missed injured. So,
so the 0-12, he's 0-12 against Stephen Steph and Draymond play. That's
and
jeez,
Owen,
man.
yeah, 0-8 with no KD. So you can't blame the the KD era Warriors because KD didn't play in 8 of those games. So
shout out to Dame and the Blazers, man. They've been a good punching bag for the Warriors through the years. Good for them.
Hey guys, this is Shree from San Ramon. Huge fan. You guys always kill it. Always have the best insights, commentary, all that jazz. I think the Warriors are in as good a place as I could expect them to be in right now, but I think we need to up the Kuminga minutes even more than what Kerr currently has in place. The guy is too skilled defensively. He is too important in unlocking transition offense. I think, yeah, he's young. Yeah, he's going to make mistakes. This is the time right now to just let it ride with him. And I know we're on this nice little 4-game streak. I feel like the season looks a whole lot different than it did the day Steph went out, but I think we got to ride with Kuminga. I think this guy is the Warriors' present and not just the future. Thank you, guys.
yeah, I mean that's why my resolution was his shot. You can tell that's probably the one major thing that keeps him off the floor. Like it's hard to play him next to Draymond and Looney at the same time, for example, because that's 3 non-shooters. And if he can become a reliable catch and shoot option, then I think Steve would play him 30 plus minutes a game because Kerr wants to have as many two-way forces as possible. Like his dream team is Steph, Draymond, and like 3 Wiggins, right? Or 3 Clays, that type of thing, right? Like just like a bunch of two-way wings plus Steph plus Draymond. And Kuminga, if the shot comes around, they can do that. They can go Steph and Draymond with Clay, Wiggins, and Kuminga, right? So
God, that's a hell of that's Andre. He's in the Andre role. He's not the same. I mean, they're missing the ball handler, that the ball handling that Andre gives them. But geez, that defense. It's running back 2015, dude, is what it is. Is what that defense is. Now Andre is a genius, but
better.
Hey,
yeah.
When is he? When is that guy coming? I feel like I ask this every other week. Is that guy ever gonna come back? Is he ever gonna play again?
I have no intel, no insight. My gut, just based on the way they're doing things, is after the All-Star break.
Okay.
They literally signed him and they're like, you could play 15 regular season games and we'll use you in the playoffs.
Okay.
And when they looked like they were going to be look, man, they could still end up in the play-in, but like, it's one of those gambles where if they end up a 7 or 8 seed, it's going to look pretty dumb. But if they end up a 4 or 3 seed, it's going to look really smart.
So here's what I think. We got one more goon coming up after this. Close it out. Here's what I think then. They have 2 young guys that they hope are going to push towards like true great rotation minutes. As Poole is already there, and Kuminga. They have Andre, who's the vet buyout essentially. That's going to be there post All-Star.
Big wing, another big wing. Yeah,
another big. And then look. I don't think a trade is going to happen either at this point. So I think it's another buyout, or Ty Jerome is going to be the 2-way guy. So he's already playing, right? So maybe they convert him into that spot. So if they convert Ty Jerome and get a buyout, they'd have to cut someone, probably JaMychal Green, right? So that's probably what they do. So I would think you got 2 young guys that you hope develop even further for impact minutes, mostly Kuminga, and then you've got Andre as the vet buyout to you get another guy. So I would say that's probably their reinforcements that they're going to get.
I do agree with you, by the way, on Ty Jerome. I think they don't really need him in the playoffs, but he's such a Warriors player, and they're probably going to lose Dante. And he's not the defender Dante is, but he absolutely is kind of like the ball moving, like Warriors motion offense type of big guard. I could definitely see them converting him and giving him a 2nd-year guaranteed, like a Juan Toscano-Anderson contract, because it's like finding guys who fit what you do for that cheap is hard. And it's kind of important because of how much tax they're paying. So let's get to the last one.
What's good, fellas? This is Izzo, long time, first time, man. Love what y'all do, man. I just got to say, man, after watching last night's game, my take, hot take, warm take, this team is not 2021's team. This team Damn, I lost my train of thought. Okay, here's what I was going to say. An Oubre Bazemore team was not winning this game. Not at all. At halftime, we went into this up 4, and I was like, we're losing this game. But we won this game. So I do not believe this is 2021. It's a different squad. We got some real dogs, and I'm confident, man. I'm confident, but I'm scared. And I just want to ask y'all, man, can I let my guard down? Sam, Andy, can I let my guard down? Please tell me I can let my guard down. Please. All right, y'all. Happy New Year.
Amazing. It's an amazing call.
That is an awesome call, and I agree with him. I kind of wish we put that one off the top, honestly. Sometimes we put these in random order and I forget, but it's like, yeah, he's right. Bazemore and Oubre aren't winning this game. And I think I'm ready to go there. This is not the 2020-21 Warriors. Are they the 2022 Warriors? To be seen. They feel somewhere in between right now.
Yeah.
Can he let his guard down?
No, never, dude. Never. You should never. But the Warriors have also won 4 championships. So and I think nobody's blaming you if you do. To your point, they are probably in between those teams. Each team has a different story to them. I think this Warriors team has probably an entirely different story of any team that we're ever going to see, mainly because they're trying to incorporate these young dudes into a style of play that I think is just so difficult. The Warriors is such a difficult place to play. If you really, it seems easy from the outside, but now that we've seen this for years, it is so hard to play the Warriors style of basketball, especially if you're either A, coming in as like a veteran that has played a certain way for 10 years, or B, as a kid that has never played this style before, like Kuminga and Wiseman, right? It's just so, even Moody, who's just not good right now. It's just so hard. So, I mean, if the Warriors win a championship this route, it is something we can say confidently we've never before seen. So that's pretty damn cool with the way that they are now. 19 and 18, 8th place, 2 games back of the 4 seed, with Steph coming back a week or 2 from now, hopefully. That is Wiggins back on Monday. So, I mean, this is kind of the perfect way to end 2022, right? Kind of the perfect way to end the year.
When they win the championship, 5th one, with Kuminga getting a finals MVP, will the city of San Francisco build a 100-foot tall golden Joe Lacob statue? And my second question for you is, what are you bringing to leave at the footsteps of the statue the first day?
A Kirk Lacob jersey signed by Kirk himself. Dude, if Joe pulls this off, I mean, come on. Is that, yeah, we can dream, but that is look, man, the Warriors are in a good place now. A month ago it was a lot different. So Golden State Warriors figuring shit out. Appreciate everyone. Have a happy new year. We will be back after the Hawks game.